Welcome back. This is the third video and hopefully final video in the Turner Cube series. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to take our 3+2 program and we're going to modify it to work with the UMC's orientation, and then we're going to do the same thing to the circular rotation program. And then finally we'll set it up for dynamic work offset. So first thing, I've got the Turner's Cube 3+2 program that we made already, and so what I need to do is just go in here and update the coordinate systems to reflect what's going on with the UMC. So looking at my planes, and I probably want to rename these two because the UMC works a little bit differently. Instead of using A and B or A and C, it uses B and C. So our first operation is going to be the same, right? Top is top, so we don't need to make any changes there. So then on our original program we rotated to the face with the plus shape, and that was our A90, right? So in the case of the UMC, it's actually going to rotate this way, and so our first face would actually be the diamond. So if I go to that plane, which is here's the A90 C90 plane, I'm going to go ahead and hit the equal sign. I'm going to make that active. And so really all I need to do is I need to rotate this coordinate system to reflect what it's going to look like in the UMC. So when it rotates this way, this is facing up. My X should be pointing to the right, my Y should be pointing up here, and then Z stays the same, coming out at us. So easy enough to do that. So I'm going to go in here onto my planes tab. I will right click on my plane and I'll go rotate incremental. So then my box comes up and says, which axis do you want to rotate about? In our case we want to rotate about Z, and we want to rotate 90 degrees. Okay, and we get a little preview. We see the X is now pointing to the right, Y is going that way, which we want. So green check, and that's that. So if I come now to my toolpaths, my toolpaths tab, you'll see that those toolpaths went dirty, right? They need to be regenerated because we rotated the axis. I want to reorder it. I want to do this as my second operation. Nah, actually, that doesn't really matter. We'll just leave it the same. So that plane is facing the correct direction. And so now we can start rotating this way around the part. So if I come, my plus, that's my A90 C0. So if I go back to my planes, so my A90 C90, that actually becomes B90 C0. Alright, and then if I highlight the A90 C0 plane, that's the plane we use for the plus shape. I'm going to hit the equal sign to make that the active plane, and once again I'm going to do a right click, rotate incremental about Z 90 degrees, green check, and we see it's in the proper orientation. So we'll go ahead and rename it, and we're going to name this B90 C90. Alright, and let's see, next one, triangle. That's our old A90 C270 plane. So I'll hit the equal sign on that, right click, rotate incremental, about Z, 90 degrees. Remember to hit that enter key. Green check. And this becomes B90 C180. Alright, and then our last one is the square. That's our old A90 C180 plane. So again, equal sign, right click, rotate incremental, about Z, 90 degrees, enter key, green check, and double click to rename it. This is going to be B90 C270. Alright. Now I go back to my toolpaths, and everything down here is dirty. So I'll hit the regenerate all dirty operations. And then I'm going to save this as file. So I'm going to go file save as. So don't hit this, because then it's going to want to overwrite your current program. So you want to go file save as, and then this is going to be Turnicube 3+2 -UMC. Alright, so that is it for that. So again, we don't need anything special. We don't need to change machines or anything like that, because again, there's no, this is all just basically 3-axis milling code. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we'll open up the center of rotation program that we made, and then we're going to modify that one to work with the UMC. So open, and let's go back to the center of rotation. Alright, so for the center of rotation program, we are going to need to change the machine files, and we're also going to need to change the models. So we will start, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this TR100 stuff. So go to my levels, and let's see, I want to keep 500, and I want to keep 600, which is my part. So I'm going to just go ahead and uncheck those so that they're not on the screen. So now I have my 2, 3, and 400 levels, and so all this stuff I want to get rid of because I have new files that are in the canvas module. So I'm just going to make a big window around all this and hit the delete key. Come back over here and click on a different level like 600, and I'm going to do a right click and clear empty levels all. Now I'm ready to add back in my other stuff. Let's go ahead and start adding in the fixtures. So I'm going to go file, merge. I'm going to grab that UMC table. Alright, green check. Might see one of these levels not show up, but if it does, just look here and show the level, and you should see all the components. So it looks like we're going to want to move this around a little bit. So we are on the, okay, we're on the top plane, so we pretty much want to get this unit here underneath this plane. That's going to be our center of rotation. So first thing I'm going to do is activate level 1 and hide the 600 level. So 500 and 600 are hidden. That way I can grab everything here and go to Home tab and change that. I'm going to put everything on the 1000 level since that's already there. Just like that. So I'm going to activate the 1000 level and then do a right click, clear empty levels all. Alright, so now I got everything on that level. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight everything, and I'm going to say transform translate. I'm going to select move. I'm going to do from to. And I'm going to go from the center here to the origin there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and green check that one. And right click, clear colors. And so now if I do a right click top, then this is exactly how the UMC looks. Center of rotation is going to be the center of this platter, and then the center of this B-axis. So I'm going to do a right click position. Again, you may need to go to the Home tab, and under the Analyze section, hit the drop down for dynamic. Underneath that is position. So if you do that, and then if I go ahead and just select the center here, I'm looking for my Z value, which is 2.043, and if I check this circle as well, same thing, 2.043. So close that out, and then again I'll highlight everything, and I'm going to go to transform translate, and I'm going to move it in the Z direction, minus 2.043, enter, and green check. Right click, clear colors, and then analyze position. Okay, 0, Z0, and over here, Z0, and over here, X0, Y0. So that is good. That's right where we need it. So right click top. And so next we'll go ahead and add in the riser. So file, merge, and now we're looking for the RL96A-2710. That is the riser. So open that one. Okay, it's pretty close to where we need it. So green check that. Check our levels. So that went to level 1. So we'll go ahead and highlight that. And I'm going to go to the Home tab. I'm going to give that a different level. I guess I'll call that 900. Alright, and then select it again. Transform, translate, a move from to. So we will select the center hole there at the bottom of the riser. And then I'll select the center hole here on the table. Okay, just like that. Green check. Right click. Clear colors. Alright, so there's my riser. And now I need to add the dovetail fixture. file, merge. This is going to be the R96-DM25. So it's going to be this one here. Open. Okay. Green check. So again, 8 different levels. So highlight all that. And go to the Home tab. Click on my level change. And I'll call that one 800. Alright, so that's 800. So I'll go ahead and call this riser dovetail. $900 was my base plate. Okay, and then I'll do a right click in here, clear empty levels all. Okay, I might as well go ahead and name these. So 600 is my part solid, 500 is my dovetail stock. Again, I'm just double clicking in here to be able to edit the name of that level. You could also click down here, but just make sure that you're on the check mark level. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to go ahead and hide 5 and 600 again. Select this guy here. Transform, translate. It's a move from 2. So I'm going to go right here. To right there. And green check. Right click, clear colors. And let's see where we're at. It's pretty close. So, dovetail. Alright. Let's see. So the first thing I'll do is, let's go ahead and hide that one. So I'm going to hide 600 and I'm going to move 500. Transform, translate. Let's go up in Z real quick. Alright. So what about there? 600. Green check. Alright, and then let's go ahead and activate the 600 level and hide the 500. I'm going to do an analyze position. So it is on X0, Y0. So alright, so we just need to move it up. Same as the dovetail. So click on those, transform, translate, move, and if I hit this drop down right here, it gives me my recent things that I've done. So I just click on 600, green check, clear colors, now everything's in place. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is update the planes just like I did in the other file earlier. So I'm going to go over to planes and my A0C0, that is now going to be B0C0. Alright, and then it doesn't change its orientation. So the next one was my A90C0, which now becomes my B90C90. So this one becomes B90C90, and we need to do a rotate incremental. Right? Remember that was about Z and it was 90 degrees. So green check, and then right click top. So just do that real quick. So that's correct. Okay. And then my A90C90, that becomes B90C0, just like before. Oops. And rotate incremental, about Z, 90 degrees. Green check. Okay. And A90C180 became B90 C270, and then rotate incremental, about Z, 90 degrees, check, and then A90 C270 became B90 C180, make it active. Right click, rotate incremental, about Z, 90 degrees, green check. Alright, so there's that. Okay, now since we changed all of our toolpaths to incremental, right? We don't have to go in and change anything, we just have to regenerate. So I'll just go ahead and make my B0C0 the active plane, and go to my toolpath tab and hit the regenerate all dirty operations. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and save this file. So again, file, save as. This is going to be Core UMC. And then we're going to need to change our machine file. So you'll need to save the machine definition and the post processor in the files like the instructions say. So then once you do that, then you can go to your files right there, and then you can go here and replace it. So hit the open folder, and then you're going to go to the Haas UMC 500 mil right there. Open. And green check. And then save it one more time. And that's that. So let's go ahead and post out the code, see what it looks like for the UMC. So I've got all my operations highlighted, and I'm going to hit the G1, green check, and this is going to be, what is it? Turner Cube Core UMC. Okay. So if we scroll down here, okay, so we got C0, B0. That's for our first operation. So we got face mill, half-inch end mill, quarter-inch end mill, and the chamfer mill. Alright, so then we come back to the quarter-inch flat end mill, and we get our rotation here, C90, B90. Okay, and keep going. Alright, there's our chamfer mill again. Alright, and the next one here. Alright, rotates to C0. Okay, so we got our rotations in there, and then if you notice, if you look at the code a little bit, there's this right here, this G254. So that's something that we haven't seen before. And then if you scroll further down, you'll see the G255. So that's the code that activates our dynamic work offsets. And so that's what we're going to do next, is we're going to set this up for dynamic work offset. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this. So the dynamic work offset, what we're able to do is we can just probe the top of the block like we did in the 3+2, and we can move all our planes to that point, and then what the dynamic work offset does is, even if we move this whole fixture, you know, an inch in Y direction or an inch in X direction or whatever, all we have to do is just pick up the center and the top of that block, and it will actually figure out where the block is moving to, even though it's off center. So that's a really nice feature. So in order to do that, so we have this one, I'm just going to save it one more time as Turner Cube Core, and then I'll go ahead and file, save as, and it's going to be Turner Cube DWO, Dynamic Work Offset, DWO, UMC. Save, okay. Now, dynamic work offsets only work on the new generation control, so we will not be making this change to the file for the VF2s. And so all we really have to do is move our planes up to this point here. So if I go to my planes, my B0 C0 is active, so I hit the little mouse pointer button down here, and then I'm just going to choose the center of that circle, or if I choose this one, it works too. Just make sure that the little icon pops up with the center point, so you know you're getting the center and not a quadrant or the edge. Okay. I don't know why it's showing me that. One second here. Let's see, view. Should be okay. Never mind. Alright, so I moved that one. Now go to the next one. Highlight it. Mouse pointer. Same thing. Next one. Mouse pointer. Same thing. Next one. Activate. Mouse pointer. There. Last one. right there. Back to my toolpaths. Regenerate everything. Okay, still looks good. So now, it doesn't really matter if we start moving this fixture around. We don't even have to make sure that it's on center, and the machine will just figure out where it's at when we do the rotations. So we'll give it a final save, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.